we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proves in vain, hope seems like a summer bird too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here, my heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. They don't always happen when you ask, and it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by your pain, can't see your way clear through the rain, a small but still resilient voice says help is very near. There can be miracles, when you believe. The hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you believe. You will when you believe. You will when you believe. You will when you believe.
Theatre, an entire industry shut down by a global pandemic. In the Wings is a collection of interviews with writers, composers and creatives whose work was cancelled by COVID-19. In this series, we will shine a spotlight on 4 such productions, featuring performances by West End stars and a live band, the first since our theatres went dark. These are the stories of those shows waiting in the wings. Episode 2, Legends of Arama.
First thing, tell us about the show. Every show's got a story, and just about getting it on. And so, where were you before all this, before our business had this existential crisis and ceased to exist in any kind of shape or form. Where were you with the whole thing?
We got the script into really good shape. Started working with a music director who was creating all sheet music for all instrument parts. And we thought, okay, it'd be great to just get a venue now and perform it with a bigger cast, a cast of hopefully 20 ensemble. Obviously Carrie Ellis, which we were very lucky to get involved. And yeah, that was planned to do a concert version in the church as well, at the Actors Church, because it had such a nice acoustic sound. And the score is very kind of organic, and we thought that would massively complement the score, that specific venue. And it was quite tricky to get the venue. So we were over the moon when we did.
And of course, you presumably invited producers in and all that sort of stuff.
Did all that, sent out all the emails, got a few people saying they were going to come, which was all exciting. Yeah.
Oh dear. And so, but what's the plan now? If it's, you're going to, presumably you're just reschedule it, or is there any concrete?
Yeah. So the cast were great, and the theatre was great in saying we'll still do the show, we'll just postpone it. So all the cast, considering they're available on the dates, are still happy to go forward. And the same with the venue. They were happy for us to just replan the date. In the meantime, we're just going to work on future proposals, I think, for the show, trying to make even further developments to the script to make everything as strong as we can. Working with Justin, who's obviously helping with some set design to get an idea of what it could look like if we put it on ourselves with a bit of a budget. Costume design, things like that, makeup artists. They're things that we want to kind of see come to life a little bit during this time, where we can work with the designers and create some kind of, production value for when we next put it on.
Draw your sword, take a breath, lunge, never shy away from fear. Hold your ground, keep them close, but don't make your intentions clear. Stay composed, save your strength, block, see if you can wear them down. Keep your mind in the fight and think of nothing else around. When you're in combat, there's no second chance. You learn quickly or you will be killed. The measure of a soldier is what he does when under pressure. You learn as you get older that your best weapon is composure. Let's go again. Shield up high, mind your feet. Now, wait till they let down their guard. Patient troops can defeat all without getting bruised or scarred. Much to learn, you'll endure. Let's take it from the top again. One more push, don't give in, move. Failure is for lesser men. Didn't your father teach you how to fight, or at least how to fend for yourself? The measure of a soldier is how he deals with any setback, with all the weight his shoulders bear. He'll be careful how he must act. You will be glorious if you can conjure all of your courage and might. We'll be victorious if you remember what I have taught you tonight. All recruits, they must be just whether warrior or scout. What you learn over time is not to let your anger out. The measure of a soldier is how he deals with any setback, with all the weight his shoulders bear. He'll be careful how he must act. And when the moment draws near, you'll see.
So who are your collaborators on this show?
Just Trish Jensen's. He wrote the scripts.
Right, and you do lyrics and...
We co-wrote the lyrics,
Oh, right.
yeah. Yeah, that was very kind of back and forth. It was kind of, I would send him, with the way I work is I always try and capture the emotion of the scene or the song just through music. So I'll create just the melody and do a piano sketch of the whole song, send it to him, and then he would send me back a lyric following my exact melody, and then I would tweak it or whatever. Or sometimes I would just write the tune, and if I really liked the specific song and thought I could tell it well, I would do the initial lyric. And And then it's just back and forth.
All right, but so it's always music first. That's quite interesting.
Yes, for me it is, yeah.
Right. Oh,
I think, again, that comes from my movie score love, because I always find if you can really capture someone emotionally with just the music alone, then you've already done half the job. If you're already creating the atmosphere of the scene and everything just through the music, that's amazing. And then the lyrics are only going to add to that. I think in the past, my problem with writing lyrics first was I kind of just made the music fit it, and I wasn't really delivering the emotion as well as I could through the music. So, but everyone works in different
lyrics are harder though, aren't they? Don't you think? I mean, talking as a composer as well, don't you think? Yeah.
Yes.
You just got to you have to sit there longer.
Definitely.
Don't you?
Yeah, no, true. Music comes so naturally to me, so quickly.
Yeah.
In Legends of Aramar, because I wasn't working at this point, I just quit my job, and
what was your job?
I fired out. I was working in Costa, and I fired out 3 songs, one after the other, in one day. It was pretty much like a song a day. Yeah. Sometimes 2 songs. Then one day I just went through 3 songs in one day, and yeah, it was amazing. It was just flying out. But then lyrics, everything's got to be so right. Like
I
rhymes
know. It's a real pain, isn't it?
phrasing, so they match the rise and fall of the melody.
And you have to get the right emphasis, so it's not an emphasis.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
that's one of the hardest ones. And just so that they're not bland and they're creating an image. I don't like things that just say it in the most basic way possible. You've got to try and make it sound interesting.
I know. I really think it's got to sound truthful to the character, without being too clever or too knowing. But also, people want to be dazzled, don't they? Yeah. But then you can't just have virtuosity for the sake of it. It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. All those things.
Where there's like a Corona moaner, listen to me moan on, but it's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, I do think I've learned as I got older is that you really have to have patience with lyrics, don't you? You have to just force yourself into that space and sit there and stare at that blank page.
And sometimes it could be a whole day's gone by and you've written 8 lines. And you think, do you know what? For the whole day, 8 lines isn't actually that bad.
That's not bad at all.
When I was younger, I would think, oh my God, I've wasted the whole day. I would have had a song finished, but it actually wouldn't have been very good.
Spirits of earth and sky, could you teach me to fly, to be one with the birds, free to disappear, free to evolve as the small ripple grows. It has more to oppose, but I'll stay dignified with you as my guide. Carve me a path, I'm in need of something new. Fountain of fortune, spring for me now, and let me drink the waters, hear that glistening sound. I put my trust in you. In the end we are one, all birds and beasts beneath the sun, and we've so much to give while our spirits live, while we believe. If we hold an idea, do not live life in fear. Plant the seed, nurture it, give it time to grow. You'll see it bloom. I'm still searching for the seed. Fountain of fortune, flow for me now. Reflect to me the person who I'm meant to be. I put my trust in you. Fountain of fortune, tune flow for me now. We have but only one life, so please let it count. Spirits surrounding, witness all I leave behind when I leave this life. So guide me with your gentle touch.
I'm massively influenced by film scores, and it's something I really want to get into in the future. So that kind of big orchestral sound, trying to find a way to get that kind of sound into theatre, because you can't ever have the size of the orchestra that you get in the film scores, obviously.
No, of course not.
So you've got to try and find the most, I looked for the most kind of versatile instruments, and also the instruments that had kind of the biggest dynamic range, where I could do something loud with like a French horn, and then have really soft moments. And I was really careful with that with this show. In my first musical, I pretty much wrote it for a full orchestra. This one, I was like, let's try and get the biggest sound I can get and the most atmospheric sound without using tons and tons of instruments, because that's obviously always a killer when you're trying to find a producer.
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is also, is even if you use backing tracks or to get around it, it's that thing in... You want to hear the real thing, don't you?
You do.
But it's tricky because you don't mind. It's very, audiences are also very forgiving if the track's great. But if it's too kind of too tracked, then it's
I think it just depends on budget, really. Isn't it?
Yeah, and of course. I mean, I suppose, but it's tricky, isn't it? Because I mean, audiences they want to hear a big sound, but they also want to feel like it's a live sound. So you have to. It's a bit of a sort of sleight of hand, isn't it? I mean,
but sometimes integrating just a few live instruments can make all the difference.
Sure,
so the live piano we're obviously using, and we'll play the harp on piano on a keyboard. So that's coming through at least as he's playing it live. And then the violins, I think, is the hardest one to replicate for me. I think you can always have string samples behind, but if you can have at least one or two violins, you kind of get that kind of dynamic and the swelling that you just can't really get as great on samples. So it's important, I think, to just integrate just a few live instruments.
Lost in a cruel world with no escape, but I long to be free from it all, getting over this wall. There's surely somewhere where I belong. For too long I've been looked down upon, and these men wish me gone. One good morning, one good night. It's a small dream, but it still burns so bright. I vow to find a place where the wind will set you free. A new home I will embrace. I will row every ocean and sea. My father left me with nothing but dreams. Ever long I dreamt he would return, but a cold truth I'd learn. One adventure, one respite, with my father never leaving my side. I vow to find a place where the wind will set me free. A new home I will embrace. I will row every ocean and sea. worthiness will roll the oceans and seas, prove my worthiness to those who struck me down. I'll keep my eyes off the ground, be as brave as I can be, till my place has been found. I will finally be free. I will roll every ocean and sea. I vow Copernicus will roll the oceans and seas, prove my worthiness to those who no, to me. This I vow.
It was great to get the support of the cast to say that everyone's going to do it again in the future, which is great. But also, you're in the same boat as everyone else. So it's devastating when you first find out. And you know the email was coming because I was watching shows get cancelled all over the country, big tours and everything. And I was like, this is going to happen to me within a week or so. I thought just maybe because it's a small venue, they might keep the small venues open for a bit longer. Didn't happen. Got the email and then I had to tell everyone. But then you just move on. You've got to keep your head up in this industry. You can't.
So what do you think? I mean, you know, looking at the post-COVID world, post-COVID showbiz world, what do you think? Do you think there'll be any profound shifts in the way we, present shows? I mean, it's at the moment this whole idea of a socially distanced audience seems to be completely anathema to the economics of it all. So I don't know how does it really work? You know,
I don't know. I mean, I think theatre will really come back to life when those social distancing matters are gone. Right. In the meantime, I think not much is going to be done. I think you can write, and I think you maybe have to workshop at a distance. It's better time to work on those things rather than trying to get money at a time where you just can't earn it because you're selling, 1 or 2 seats for every 6 or 10. It just seems a bit crazy. But I think there's such an audience, especially in the UK. For musical theatre, people love it. It's always going to be a business opportunity. So even though it'll be very sad if we see some shows have to, come off the West End and they're kind of done, they can come back, I think. And I think producers, if the business model works, if people are buying tickets for this show, then someone's going to put the money into it and get it back on, I think, anyway.
I wonder if it's just like there'll be a slow start. A few shows will go with, what can we do? As writers, you can only just have your shows as ready as possible. I think you're right. Try and spend the time on the workshops and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and as soon as one
networking as well is good. It's a good time for networking. I've found I'm getting a lot more response to emails.
Oh really? That's interesting.
This time.
Oh, go on, be more specific. Who have you been in touch with?
No, I'm not allowed to tell you that.
Go on.
But different types of agents and producers.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you send out tons of emails and hear nothing. It's like people have a bit more time to actually read through those emails this time, which is encouraging.
I wonder if they're also looking for opportunities, because I think there will be a lot of empty theatres in about a year's time. And I think if you've got something that's pretty, good to go, it might be an interesting,
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking get the art that you're working on as strong as you can. And then when this industry does get back on its feet, you'll have something. And there should be more opportunities. Like you say, it could be empty theatres. There could be producers just looking to have more shows under their belt. And